Vision Exchange video tips, sewing by touch. For sewing by touch, we're going to work on the hemming stitch today since this is a really common repair. I am using contrasting color thread just for demonstration purposes. Even if a person has low vision, they are going to have to sew by touch because when you do repairs, your thread is the same color as the fabric and it's usually not easy to see. However, you can sew by touch. I have here a little piece of fabric that is our demo for a hem that is falling out. We have the folded edge and we have the hem edge at the top here. So the first thing a person has to do is to figure out how big is the hole that they have to fix. You can do this simply by sliding your fingers in and finding where the hole ends. And you can take pins and actually mark the starting and the ending of the portion of the hem that is going to be restitched. This just helps a person keep track of it. And as well, you may wish to pin the hem. When you're right-handed, you stitch from right to left, so make sure that the pointy end of the pins also points to the left. You won't prick yourself as much. Now, when you sew, the hand that holds the needle always manipulates the needle and thread. And the other hand, the non-dominant hand, is the one that holds the garment or the fabric. There is no switching back and forth between the jobs that each hand does. The way you hold things is extremely important. When you're holding the fabric, you want to position your thumb so that your thumb can feel the folded edge of the fabric where you will be stitching. And your index finger on the back is going to be where the fabric is single thickness so that you're going to be able to feel how much fabric the thread is gathering up. Because with a hemming stitch, you want to gather just a few threads so that it doesn't show on the other side. When holding your needle, you want to hold it at the base because self-threading needles, if you pull too hard, they can have a tendency to snap that thread out. So you want to make sure that doesn't happen. And you also want to extend your index finger close to the point. When you're sewing by touch, if you don't have that finger up near the point, you're going to possibly stab yourself. But with your finger on the point, you have a sense of where that is. So it becomes a matter of matching finger to finger. So let's start our stitch. I'm going to bring the needle point in, and I'm going to find the folded edge of the fabric. My thumb on my left hand already knows where that is, and I'm just going to slide the tip of the needle underneath the folded edge. And I'm just going to start by pulling it through to anchor the knot. And I'm going to hide that knot. Here's the hemming stitch. My thumb feels where the thread just came out. I have to put a little bit of tension on the thread in order to feel it with the tip of my thumb. I can also feel the folded edge of the fabric down here with my thumb. I bring the needle in parallel. I'm not coming in on a vertical angle. I'm keeping the tip of the needle fairly flat. And I can press through the single thickness of the fabric just by the folded edge. I can feel it in my index finger that is on the back side of the fabric. And keeping my needle parallel to the folded edge, I pick up a thread or two. I push the point of my needle through about 1/4 of an inch. If I want to know how far apart my stitches are going to be, the stitch length ends up being the length from the tip of the needle to where the threads were picked up. Once I do that, I swivel the tip of the needle just underneath the folded edge. With my left hand thumb, I can actually feel where that point is going to come out in relation to the folded edge. If I don't like the position, say I feel it way up here, too far in from the folded edge, I could actually back it out and correct that. You want to come up close to the folded edge. And then once you do, you're free to pull. Notice how my right hand always controls the needle. I don't switch positions to control the needle with my left hand. And we start over again. Feel where the thread just came out with your left hand thumb. Bring the needle in parallel to the folded edge, which you can feel by moving it around lightly. Pick up just a few threads, which you can feel with your index finger that's on the other side of the single thickness fabric. Feel with your thumb or gauge by how far you push that needle point, how long your next stitch will be. And then lastly, swivel the point of your needle underneath the folded edge. Feel with your thumb to gauge where that needle point is going to come out. Make sure it's on the folded edge and continue pulling it through. The goal is to have very even stitches. And you can get very even stitches simply by consistently pushing the needle through the same amount every time. And you can check that at any time that you wish with your thumb of your left hand. And of course you would keep sewing until that thumb felt the marker pin at the end of the opening that you're fixing. One final point for safety, when you're sewing, always pull that needle away from your face as you stitch.
We recommend that you encourage your group members to seek the services of a certified vision rehabilitation professional to learn these types of skills. If you have any questions about leading a low vision support group, please call 312-236-8569 or email us at info@second-sense.org.